right, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the International Wealth Builders Association radio talk show. I am your host, LaToyaTillett, live on KCAA Broadcasting Network. I'm a member of the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club and Finest Women in Real Estate. A little bit about myself, as you guys may already heard, but for those of you that are new to listening to the show, I am the broker owner of Tillett Realty Group and CEO of Tax Plus Financial Services. I help people pave the way to wealth through real estate by creating diverse portfolios that include commercial, residential, and international properties while maximizing their tax benefits. So today we have a special show. I was actually going to just come on and kind of do a Ask Me Anything type of show. But then I ran into someone very, very special that agreed to be a guest today. I was able to catch him right before his event today. So I would like to welcome Dwayne Mooney to the show. How are you doing today, Dwayne?
Doing wonderful. I'm doing fantastic. Life is good. I'm just, waiting to get my property internationally.
That's right. That's right. And we are definitely working on that. Now, yesterday we had an event called the Beyond Borders Tour where we spoke about our international development projects as well as how you can sell internationally as well. And so Dwayne was one of our guests there yesterday. And so, Dwayne, what did you take away from that experience? How was it for you?
Well, for me, the experience was wonderful because personally, I have never seen um, people that organized, that focused on the outcome. The young lady that actually did the presentation on um, live, on camera,
Yes.
she was just no nonsense, but had a lot of fun, straight to the point. And I love it when it's like that. It's not a lot of fluff.
Right.
When you go to a meeting or training, you get a lot of fluff. Stand up, exercise, think about, all that. It's like, just get to the point. So I love the way she got to the point. And then after the fact, to become affiliate, to take the test where it wasn't a lot of drama,
Yes.
everything was clear. And then what we get out of it.
Yes.
People really don't know what's really going on and how amazing what you guys are doing is. For us to actually invest in property uh, around the world without paying interest and do it like a layaway plan.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need credit, you don't need bank statements. You just have to have the money.
Yep.
And if you don't, you can partner with people. You have so many ways for people to get involved with this that I'm just so happy that I got the opportunity to see you speak in Los Angeles, and want to thank 1-800-UNITE-US for sending me that email that I
Yes.
looked at, and for me to be there and show up and really be a part of something that's so wonderful, because it's more than I ever thought. It's and going way to Riverside. When you go to Riverside, that's going like 20 years back in the time machine. It's like,
It better be
you
good
know,
if you got to come all that way, right?
yeah, it's like I'm like, I can't wait to get out of here. But what was there with you guys, it's like just a serious gold mine. And I'm really glad to be a part of it.
Awesome, awesome. I'm really glad to have you as part of it. So now let's backtrack a little bit because I found out something very interesting. I know we met at the event on October 22nd with the Consolidated Board of Realtors.
Yes.
So I did get to speak on the international properties there. But yesterday, even getting to know you, speaking with you and everything, I'm like, it never dawned on me that you have a very famous father and you're actually doing things yourself. You want to tell the folks out there who your father was and who you are and what you're doing right now.
Well, my father is the late, great Paul Mooney, the great
Amazing.
comedian who
Yes.
wrote for Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, was on Living. He wrote for Living Color. He was a great stand-up in his own right. In fact, he taught a lot of comedians how to keep it real on stage.
Yes.
Um, he was a great father, great individual. He It was funny because we he didn't really raise us. So he was 16, our mother was 14
Oh,
when they had us.
wow.
I think she
Very
was 15, she was
young.
14.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the backseat of the
yeah.
car. It was just a thing they did. So so what what happened was the so we really didn't get with them till we were about 15, 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
And we actually lived with him for 2 years from about right after high school, about
Hmm.
2 years. Then he said, you N-words have to get out.
Oh, okay.
So, so, he used that all the time.
Right, right.
So, so he, so being around him, what was amazing, because it was the first time really I got to see a lot of Black folk who had big dreams, actresses, writers,
Right.
producers, directors, with these big dreams, these big epic dreams. So that was incredible. But the thing is, I didn't like is that a lot of them were struggling.
Mm.
And me being a stand-up and going into stand-up comedy, following into our father's footsteps,
Hmm.
it was like, and being conscious like him and being two men on stage instead of one talking consciousness. And plus the type of conscious comedy we did. In fact, we coined that phrase, my brother and I,
Okay.
conscious comedy.
Comedy. Okay.
Yeah, that comes from us. We coined it in the 80s.
Nice.
But why I say that is our comedy was always solution oriented. It wasn't
Mm.
events. Most
Mm.
comedians just vent on stage. We actually had solutions.
Okay.
So, to have solution comedy at 1 o'clock in the morning at a 2-drink minimum. I mean, I don't think that's what they really want to hear.
Right.
So, so, so we just ventured off into lecturing,
Oh, okay.
and putting our comedy in lectures. And one thing that we didn't want to do was end up broke, because being a conscious comedian
Mm-hmm.
was a struggle within itself. So we turned our talents into building wealth. In fact, it came from a conversation with the late great Dick Gregory, because he was our spiritual father
Oh,
and our
okay.
mentor. And I used to always argue with Dick Gregory. We used to always debate, because he was always conspiracy theory, right?
Right?
Conspiracy theory, conspiracy theory. Hey, why are you always talking about conspiracy theory? You live well. How you don't teach people what you doing and how you overcome and how you do well?
Right.
You don't talk about that. You don't talk about building wealth. You said that's your job, N word. So obviously, I was around a lot of people that said the N
Yeah.
word.
that's
So
that's understandable. I mean, I've seen, your dad actually is one of me and my niece's favorite comics. When we used to spend weekends when we were younger in our teens, we would literally sit there and binge watch his comedy specials and just crack up.
yeah, he was hilarious. You should see him at home. He was funnier on stage. What he used to do was come in the middle of the night,
Hmm.
after he would do a show, and maybe the show wasn't that good. That's when he was really coming into his own, and
Hmm.
they would always have him go up real late. And so he would come home and wake us up and do his whole act all over again.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
so we got to see, like, you know, it for up close.
Right,
So
right. Up close and
so
personal.
I mean, so think about it, being around him and Richard Pryor used to come over.
Oh, okay.
And so they used to write for Sanford and Son at the house, right?
Oh,
And we used to sit in on their writing sessions. Funniest thing in the world,
I
because
bet.
my father would he was always the base, kept it simple, kept it professional,
Hmm.
and Richard be like, drinking and coking up, and
Oh my God.
he'd be writing for Sanford and Son like he was writing for the rated X uh, sitcom
Or some
on
other
cable or
network,
something,
right? Yeah.
right?
It's like, come on,
Yeah,
you got to reel it
yeah.
in.
Let Lamont say,
Like, no, we can't let him say
yeah.
that.
My father would say, "No, Richard, uh, you have to keep it clean, Richard. You can't be going off like that." So just to see them work was amazing. But they
Right.
would come out with some genius stuff. So in fact, some of the best shows that were written for Sanford and Son, I think my father and Richard Pryor wrote. So it was just fun, and but then like I said, we met Dick Gregory at the Comedy Store, saw him do comedy, and he was on a fast, right? He was protesting something, and he's on his long fast. He's a real skinny man with a beard on stage, sitting on a stool, looking at his notes, telling jokes in a nightclub, and with juices served only.
Oh, okay. Juice
No,
only.
he didn't have drinks.
Okay.
He said only juices served only. So obviously, wasn't a lot of people there because in a nightclub trying to drink juice. So watch him just hold court, and white people just listening to every word he says and loving him so much. I'm like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So I said, I got to meet this man. He's so smart, so intellectual. Met him, and then he told me, he said, yeah, I'm doing a lecture in San Francisco in about a month. I want you guys to come up and check me out. Because we were from that Bay Area.
Okay.
So I said, sure. So I remember this is about maybe 30, 40 people in the nightclub, mostly white people, listening to Dick Gregory. So then we go up to the San Francisco at this holistic wellness event that he's the keynote speaker to. So it's thousands of people of all colors, all races there. And he's on stage, moving around, talking, totally different from sitting in the chair, just talking real low, telling jokes. He's on stage being animated, telling jokes, telling stories, preaching, lecturing, giving information. I said, that's what I want to do. Okay. That's when I said, that was like one of those aha moments. To share information, be funny, give information, tell stories. This is it. Really uplifting people. People just clapping, going crazy, standing ovation.
All right.
I'm like, that's what I want.
And that's great. Well, let me stop you right there, Dwayne, because we have to take a quick commercial break. So we'll go ahead. We'll be back in about 2 minutes, and we'll talk more about how you got into your passion of lecturing. So give us about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back.